What are the positive effects of sim racing regarding mental health? In this video, it's going to be like a chill, real relaxed video talking about these different points that I've put together of how I feel sim racing can have a positive effect on one's mental health. So stick around because I'm going to break down why sim racing isn't just good for lap times, it can be good for your brain sometimes. And partway through, I'm going to share a personal story from a little bit of a rough patch in my life because, well, it has a spot in this video. So for those who don't know, I've been sim racing for over 10 years and I'm also training to become a psychotherapist. And also over time, I've realized that sim racing, as chaotic and sweaty and rage quitty as it can be, has quietly been one of the best tools I've had for staying mentally steady. It's helped me focus, manage stress, reset after rough days, and even build resilience I didn't know I had. And I want to show you why. But before we get into the facts and psychology, let me share something personal. So there was a point in my life not that long ago where everything felt like it was on fire. I'm sure this isn't a unique feeling. I'm sure a lot of people have had this before. Health problems, very, very high pressure stress, life spinning out, the whole Monty. In that chaos, sim racing became one of the few places I could still breathe. Sometimes I'd sit in the rig and just stare at the screen, unable to get my head into it. But on the days I could race, even just for 10-15 minutes, it felt like the rest of the world just faded, gone. It wasn't just an escape. It was the only moment where I felt like I had a bit of control on a situation where everything around me was just, well, on fire. You know, this kind of classic living minute by minute sort of scenario. Not fun, but that's where it really got me thinking. What is it about sim racing that helps us stay mentally afloat? So here's what the research and the seat time says. Focus is freedom. When you're in sim racing, your brain has one job: don't crash. That intense focus, eyes on the apex, feet dancing on the pedals, the throttle, the brake, it pulls your mind out of the noise. Psychologists call this selective attention. It's the ability to block out distractions and stay in the moment. It's also a big part of why meditation works. And in sim racing, it's just high-speed meditation with tire temps and screaming curbs, all this sort of stuff. When everything in life feels overwhelming, focusing on a single clear task like nailing a lap, nailing a corner, can give your brain a nice space to reset and ultimately rest. Number 2 would be control when everything else feels out of control. So one of the hardest parts of anxiety and depression is a feeling of hopelessness, helplessness, like everything is happening to you. Sim racing flips that. You control the inputs, the pace, the decision, and the resets. That sense of control is called perceived agency, and it's directly tied to mental well-being. Even if you mess up, the feedback is clear, immediate, and yours to adjust. And in a world where most stress can feel very vague, unsolvable, like catching smoke, sim racing can be like a bit of a therapy, except with force feedback. Thirdly, flow state equals an emotional reset. So have you ever finished a race and went, whoa, was that 30 minutes? That's called flow state. A mental zone where time disappears, your inner critic shuts up, and you become fully immersed in what you're doing. And I have to admit, sim racing is built for it. There's clear goals, go fast, don't die. Instant feedback, lap times, delta, it's straight up, whether you're on the grass, you're on the track. And there's a constant and consistent challenge. And research shows that flow reduces anxiety, improves mood, and boosts confidence. It's like a spa day for your brain, especially if you're at Circuit du Spa, except with more tire wear and a little bit of spinning. Fourthly is a very important point. I think community without the small talk. Like, here's something people don't talk about enough. Sim racing is very social without being exhausting. You can race with people, banter in Discord, or just feel like part of something bigger. That kind of low-pressure social connection is a huge mental health win, especially for introverts or people who feel like real-life social stuff can be very, very overwhelming. You don't have to be the loudest voice in the room. You just got to keep it clean through turn 1, maybe give a helping hand to someone who needs it, and don't be afraid to reach out for help, as someone might thoroughly enjoy giving you a hand with something. One of the things I've found from making friends in the sim racing community is that it's very easy to connect deeply with people when you share a passion with them. For example, let's say you meet someone off the street and become friends with them. It takes a little while to build up trust, a relationship, find some common ground. When you meet someone literally standing on that common ground, it's a very different kind of relationship. Even if you guys are very different, you do share a passion, and that definitely doesn't mean nothing. And it's one of the coolest parts of this community. I guess every community has it at a whole, whether you're into shooting, archery, running, or whatnot. But sim racing does have that fundamental passion connection point where, you know, if one person loves sim racing, another person loves sim racing, naturally these guys are going to get on like a house on fire. One thing as well sim racing can teach is like resilience, but except it's disguised as rage. Like, let's be real, sim racing will test your patience. You will get dive bombed, you will get ICBM'd, you will spin, you will lose races you should have won, you will win races you definitely, you know, the whole thing. But here's the twist. Every time that happens, you keep going. You're building emotional resilience. You're learning to reset after mistakes. You're learning to regulate frustration. You're learning to stay focused under pressure, which coincidentally is a very small slice of what therapy teaches in itself. Sim racing isn't just about not quitting, it's learning about how to recover. And mentally, I personally think that's gold. So some final thoughts would be sim racing is just more than a game. It's a focus tool, it's a mental gym, it's brain training, it's a space to escape, reset and rebuild. And even when life is throwing everything it has at you, sim racing gives you somewhere to go where the rules make sense, the feedback is honest, and you get another lap to try again. Always. You don't have to be fast, you don't have to be consistent, you just have to show up.